I'm a Forester here, and welcome to another Spyderco unboxing. I have to admit though, I cheated. I intended to unbox this here for you on the YouTube video, but I made another post office security camera video. I blame it on yourcornerstore.com. Normally I have bought knives from Amazon and you get free shipping, but it usually takes longer, and usually to the point where I'm wondering where is the knife. But it was totally different with this knife. It's the first knife that I've ever bought from yourcornerstore.com, and you pay a little bit extra for shipping, but I ordered this knife on Sunday, and Wednesday there it was in my mailbox. So I was really surprised, and I just went ahead and ripped into it and opened it up. But we'll pretend that this is the real unboxing. You know, about a month ago or so, I bought my first Spyderco. It was a Spyderco Tenacious, and I have two videos, I think, on that Tenacious that you can look at. But I ordered a Spyderco catalog, and I would encourage everybody to get a catalog. It's just fun to have on hand. But what I was, in looking at all the knives, what I was trying to figure out is what type of knife I wanted to upgrade to a little more expensive Spyderco, a little higher quality, maybe better steel. And I was torn between maybe something like the Endura or Delica 4, something smaller or larger than the Tenacious, or possibly the police model. One that I was looking at in particular was the military and the paramilitary. And so I was really torn. I wanted to get another Spyderco, like I say, a little higher quality knife than the Tenacious, but I wasn't sure whether to go up in size or down in size. So, but it's enjoyable to have these catalogs. I've ordered several, and just to have on hand to review the knife choices. Well, let's look and see what I got. It definitely is a Spyderco, and I decided to go down in size. I went to the Spyderco Delica 4 in blue. I really enjoy the change from just the black handles, and so this gives a lot more personality to the knife. Let's get the box out of the way. Now, I'm not going to do a full review of this knife. There are plenty of reviews on this Delica, and so what I'll do is give you my overall impressions, and hopefully by just giving you my impressions, I'll cover at least the most important aspects of the knife. The first impression I had when I opened it up was how big it is. I mean, when you look at it, that's not a small knife. It fills up my hand, and I have large hands. And so it is lightweight, but my first thought was, why do they call it the Delica? It doesn't look delicate to me. And the first thought was, well, maybe it's just due to the lightweight and the FRN handles. But the handles have a steel liner, and they seem plenty strong with that steel liner. So I don't think it's called the Delica because of those handles. It doesn't take long, though, to figure out that probably the reason it's called Delica is because of this blade. This is an extremely narrow blade, probably one of the narrowest blades of any knife that I have, and it really gives you the impression that it could be snapped easily if you did any prying or put any pressure on the tip of this blade. So it's a blade that I'm probably going to be very careful with. It's not going to be one that I'm going to put to any hard use. Now, the blade is VG10 steel. It says that right down here. And I've never had a knife with that steel on it. So I'm not really sure of the strength characteristics, and that's something I'll be paying attention to over time. But the blade is probably why it has the name Delica. Something else that I noticed is that it seems to have slightly different proportions between the knife blade and the handle. Now, it takes a 4-inch handle to fill up my hand, and that's something that I look for, and this knife had that. but usually you have a little longer knife blade for that big a handle. And let me bring in the Kershaw Skyline. It's hard to compare these knives because they have such different handle styles, but roughly their handles are the same length. But if you can tell, the Skyline has a slightly longer blade. It's probably, I don't know, a quarter of an inch longer. And that's what I'm talking about. It's a little more well proportioned, I would say. That's not a major problem with the Delica though, because like I say, it may even be well thought out. I do need a 4-inch handle for my hand, and that's plenty of cutting surface, so it's fairly well thought out. But when you close the knife, you can tell, I guess you can tell, that it doesn't fully use up the space. There's a little bit of space in the handle that could be utilized. Well, while we're talking about the handle, another thing, an observation that I made, is that it seems to be fairly well thought out with these finger grooves that, 2 fingers will go here, 1 here, and 1 here. But on my hand, that's really not the way it works out. I can't force 2 fingers into this area. And so, for me, these 2 fingers line up perfectly with these 2 grooves right there, or these 2 ridges. And so when I close my hand on it, I have good purchase, but it's not really suited for my hand. It's not painful in any way, but I'm not making maximum use of the design of that handle. And that's just something that I noticed. The opening mechanism with this spider hole was one reason why I held off buying Spydercos. I really didn't particularly like the look of that opening mechanism, and I wasn't sure whether I would like it. Well, now this is my second Spyderco, and I can say it's grown on me. I really like the opening mechanism. It opens easily, and with a light duty EDC knife like this one, just one-handed ability to open and close the knife is really all that's important. I'm not looking for fast deployment with a light EDC knife. I'm just looking for one-hand operation, and this knife has it. Another observation that I've made is with this pocket clip. I'm going to call this the Goldilocks pocket clip, and it was the exact same way on that Spyderco Tenacious. So many knives that I have really tight pocket clips. I'll bring the Skyline out again, and this is a perfect example. That pocket clip is so tight I can barely lift it up. I can hardly budge it, and so as a result I don't use it. Both of the Spyderco pocket clips are great. They're just right. They're not too tight and not too loose. They're Goldilocks pocket clips. And so as a result I use them. And so that's just an observation I've made, that they have their pocket clips right. Well, what are my overall impressions of this knife? Number one, it doesn't have anything to do with Spyderco, but I'm very impressed with yourcornerstore.com and the service that they gave me in getting this knife to me so promptly. I was very pleased and surprised to see it in the post office box as quickly as it came. Well, my overall impressions of the Delica 4 is that it's a light duty, and I emphasize light duty, everyday carry knife. I like the colorful handles. It's something different from your regular black handles, and I think it'll serve its purpose very well. It's a knife that I'll be careful of. I'm not going to put it under undue stress, but in general I'm very impressed with Spyderco and very impressed with their knives. I did want to mention something before I end the video, and that's just that I enjoy making these videos, and I wanted to do something to encourage more subscribers. And so I'm thinking about a knife giveaway, and it'll probably be a Victorinox knife giveaway. And so just if you're interested in the topics that I talk about, I encourage you to subscribe, and probably within the next week or so I'll do a video announcing the knife giveaway. Until then, y'all take care.